Okay, peace to the movement. 747 24/7 361 degrees. How y'all feeling today, tonight, wherever you are on the planet? What's going on? Peace to the family. Having a lot of fun. Just enjoying time, just enjoying life. You know? Shout out to you and yours. It's a go. Okay, I like it. If you in here, state your name, put it in the comment section. Give me a little bit of time. I'll be ready for y'all. What's going on? I'm gonna say 747, of course. 24/7 361 degrees. Happy Friday. If you in here, state your name, you are relevant. State your name, you are relevant. Put it in the comment section. You are relevant. Look, we got an all-star coming back. Shout out to Jamila. I haven't said that name in a while. Shout out to Sister Jamila, Portland in the building. We got the Oracle Mother, Yanis Lamel. Coom. Woo. The All-Stars. Can I get it? You said you hear a buzz. I'm sorry if you hear a buzz. Maybe I'll try to change my microphone. See if that'll work better. If my vocals don't sound right, y'all, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna keep it real. If my vocals do not sound right on here, just tell me to stop. Tell me to stop. I'll pick up a whole nother microphone. And we'll figure this out. Does it sound good? Hold up. Shout out to the family. Do I sound right? Do my mic sound nice? I want to get to work. Y'all. I want to say shout out to you. This will be an informative build. Thank you for everyone who answered the call. Thank you. Thank you for all those who answered the call. I want to say thank you. You know what it is. Peace to the Messiahs. 747 24/7 361 degrees, of course. So we're almost done setting up the video. Your voice is fine. It's buzzing. All right. I don't like a buzz in my video. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I like to make sure y'all get good quality. 1, 2. I just want to make sure y'all get good quality. We in here. 1, 2. Mic check. So hopefully everything is pretty fine and we'll start the roll. And thank you for everyone helping out on the stream as well. All right, it sounds good. It sounds really good. Thank you. All right, without no more delay, let's talk about this. So today's discussion is going to be called the mainframe. What is the mainframe? All right. So You know, first of all, I would like to introduce myself for those that are just joining, watching across the universe, wherever you're watching. I am Solar Prime Supreme 131, Lazarus Lamel of the Messiah Code Movement. All right. I'm here to share great information with you. I'm here to share love. I'm here to share joy, inspiration, and most of all, I'm just here to be me and just give you great awareness. I'm gonna say that. All right. So again, today's discussion is going to be called the mainframe, and I'm gonna give you a way to tap into the mainframe, a way to break free from the prison that that is that has trapped your mind as well as trapped your body. All right. So now, so the first thing is I want everyone to think a little bit. I want you to think outside of the box. Whatever they gave you, a lot of the themes that they gave you, again, we say how many degrees are in a circle. We know that they gave us 360, but in reality, it is 361 degrees in a circle. All right, we realize that. All right, because we're the dot that stands in the middle of the circle. It's sort of like in quantum physics when they count the observer in the equation. The observer is you because you are the dot in the center of the circle. All right. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you about thinking outside of the box. All right. It's 361 degrees. That's when we cracked the code. See, they had us trapped in a 9 because 9 recycled itself. But as when you move past the 9, you went in compound figures, but we was talking about multiplication of itself to being fruitful and multiplying. All right. More or less moving in abundance or potence. So now that we know it's 361 degrees in a circle and that we operate from the dot, the center of the circle, all right, that hidden principle, I want you to think outside of the box if you are operating from the dot. Because what imprisoned us, what imprisoned our minds, and what gave us the illusion of thought is the limitations what they gave us. All right. So if you notice this right here, this image, it appears to be a cube or a box within a box. All right. A box within a box. Hear me out. This box is deep because if you look all along, you can see these boxes. All right. For instance, the 12 zodiac signs that they gave us. I told people, I said, we are out of the age of Aquarius. We are out of the age of Aquarius. All right. We have come into the age of, we are out of the age of Pisces. We're into the age of Aquarius. But some people don't like to call it Aquarius. It's really the age of information. Another way to express it is that we say Tanun, all right, which taps into the opening of the mind. Okay, so excuse me, can you cut it down a little bit in there? I just want to make sure because I hear a little bit of echo. Let me continue. So again, I started from the 12 zodiac signs with the box. Okay. Now, if you look at the box, what's so deep about this box, right? A box has what? Or a cube? It has 6 faces, 12 edges, and what? 8 vertices. The cube, the 6 faces were actually connected to something. It's connected to carbon, the 6th element on the periodical table. If anything, I can share with you. It's connected to carbon. Okay, the 12 lines, the 12 lines became the bars of the prison. Okay, the faces became the walls of the prison. Because remember, we're trapped in the cell. The cells are the cell of your body. It's the cells of your body. All right. So moving forward, yeah. So now we want to break out of this cell. This cell, I want to say peace to everybody on the 90-day water cleansing. We on day 84 as well. This is the day of Hud. Cool. Hear me out. The cells represent the cell of your body, but that is a square. It's a quadrant. And watch how I break it down, because it's connected to the covalent bond of oxygen itself as well. All right. But what's so important of this is that when I broke it down before, I said, yo, when you come out of the matrix, you go into the book. All right. But it's certain things that you have to conquer in order to get out of the matrix. All right. You have to know how to break out of the cell. All right. Now, you say, well, what do you mean? Look, a lot of us meditate. A lot of us do a lot of things far as being in a higher state of consciousness, but we have yet to break out of the cell. All right. We're still trapped in the cell because we're looking for that voice to hear or to come back, or we looking for a response back. All right. So we haven't broke out of the cell. We're trapped in the cell. Okay. Now, hear me out on this. Now, again, we have said what you face. What you face. The face of a cube. Now, remember, this cube has 6 faces. It has 6 faces. A cube. Now, this, you want to say, what are you talking about, Lamel? See, we're talking about seeing in other dimensions. When you heard Ezekiel said, I saw a wheel within a wheel, you thought he was talking about more or less like a alien ship or something like that. What if I told you Ezekiel was really seeing in dimensions? All right, because I broke it down, you know, with the fourfold consciousness when we talk about shell, male, cow, and cell. All right. Collectively, we are Thawalu. Thawalu is collective consciousness. That's what Thawalu means. All right. Peace to everybody coming in the chat. State your name, put it in the comment section. You are relevant. All right. But Thawalu operates from the principles of shell, male, cow, and cell. And you say, well, what do these principles embody? All right. I first gave it to y'all, or, you know, it was circulated in the movement, or how it represented the essence of the totems. All right. And the totems are the shell. Shell represented the turtle, the great ancestor. Then you had male, which represented the owl. All right. Which the owl sees through the darkness of disparity and through mysteries. All right. But it goes deep, because you got cow and cell. And I told y'all cow and cell are different than shell and male, because cow and cell are never apart. Cow and cell are either like this or like that. They're either like this or like that. They're never like this, like you throwing up the west side. They're never like that. They're either like this, because one is the ears, which is cell, and then cow represents the eyes. All right. But what's so deep is that shell, male, cow, and cell represents the fourfold consciousness, which
Some people describe it as a twofold consciousness. And I told y'all to always look at numbers times itself. Anytime you say 1 through 9, well, that's cool, but you got to look at it times itself. All right. Because it's the variation of its potential times itself. So, boom. If we look at 2, we look at the what you call the observer, the observer, and the one that creates the thoughts, all right, or the one that casts the thoughts or generates thoughts, all right. So this is shell and male. Shell and male are literally like brother and sister, all right. Shell representing the great ancestor or the turtle, all right, but shell represents the observer. It's sort of like, let's say they got something that watches over us. They got protocols that watches over us right now. If you say a certain word, it will have a server come up and say, oh, it will react to what you're saying. But know that it is always listening. All right. That server is always listening. That server represents Shell, the great ancestor. All right. Or the turtle. That's the server right there. Or what they call the observable mind, the one that observes. And I want you to think about this. Think about your conscious right now, because I said it's layered in 2, but it's 2 times itself. All right. Watch. So now the observer again is just, it observes reality. And when you reach a higher consciousness, you get to tap into the observer. See, the observer are the trees, the observer are the grass, the observer is the air, the observer is the sun itself, the sky. These are the things that you are in tune with when you're at that higher state of consciousness. Now, if anybody's coming in, I'm talking about how to break free from the cell. All right. Because what I explain is that, the matrix that they talked about is really a cube that you stuck in. It's really literally like a cube that you stuck in. All right. Which we call it the cell, or you call it jail. Another term for it is a prison. All right. It's really a prison of the mind. It's a prison of the mind casted in the body. All right. So now what's so deep? What's so deep, man? Look, pay attention. So now you know the cube has 6 sides. Those 6 sides was in connected to carbon, which is what we're made of. Our molecular structure is made of carbon. Look, listen, that's the 6th element on the periodical table. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. There you go, you're 666. But that was in Revelations chapter 13, verse 18, when they talked about the mark of the beast, but it was really talking about the lower state of man. Yo, man. So I broke that down with the 6, the faces that you face with the 6. But what's so deep is now we talking about the 12. I told you the bars of the cell, my fault. I don't want to do this to you, but the bars of the cell is only 12 lines to create a cube. It's only 12 lines. So those 12 lines represented the 12 zodiac signs. It represented the 12 zodiac signs. And then everybody is compatible in some way into the 12 zodiac signs. And I told y'all we coming out of the 12 zodiac signs into the future, which is the age of information. Y'all call it Aquarius, where y'all are no longer those signs. Y'all are the primes. And you say, man, I'm the prime. Yes, the primes have returned. The primes meaning uniqueness. Like every number has a unique quality to it, and you represent that quality here on earth, or this manifestation. Okay, so all of us are really locked in this cell. We all locked in this cell, and we trying to get out of the cell, literally. Okay, so let me break this down. That's the 12 edges. See, now the vertices represent the angles of the cube. If you look at a cube, they say the points of a cube. Now, the points of a cube has 8 different points in the cube, right? 8 different points. So those 8 different points represent the angels or angles. And those are the angles that speak through our eyes. Because if you look at your eye look like infinity or the number 8. Depends on how you look at it. Because you be like, oh man, if I look at it, it look like a number 8. If I look at my eyes or whatever, it look like an 8 on its belly. Yeah, that those 8 vertices or those 8 points were the 8 angels designated to speak through our eyes. All right. And the eyes are the windows that caption the soul. Trust me on that. All right. So I'm gonna show you a way to get out of the box. If y'all stick around to the end of the video, listen. If y'all stick around to the end of the video from front to back, y'all gonna figure out a way how to escape the simulation, a way how to escape the box. All right. So I want to say thank you for everybody that answered the call. All right. Because we all have a calling, but most of all, we all have a purpose. We all have a purpose in this life, and I want you to gravitate towards it right now because a Messiah is a leader or a savior of a particular group or a cause. Meaning, a Messiah is designated in your area right now to become one. All right. So, yo, this is really deep. So, man, when I looked at the cube, I said, man, this is a prison. This is the prison that we living in. This is the prison that we got to break out of. All right. Can I get a share if you care? Listen, I said, this is the prison that we got to break out of. And what's so deep about it is that, yeah, it's through the eyes, the points, the vertices. Now, the weakest point in this structure, the weakest point in the structure of the cube, you think it's what you face. It's like, man, it's what I face. No, the weakest or the strongest point in the structure that you think is the strongest point, that is the weakest point, is the vertices. It's able to, the connection through the eyes. That's the weakest point in the structure. You think, man, I have to escape through a window in this box, but the box don't have a window. You think, man, I'm trying to kick the walls down in the box because the walls, you know what the walls are? Man, y'all ain't paying attention to the stuff, man. The walls are the laws that they gave you. The walls are the laws. That was the laws of the box. The walls were the laws of the box because the walls held you captive. The laws held you captive. The law of gravity, the law of this, the law of that, whatever law of this, and it held you really captive. You thought you was free by the laws or by the walls, or you thought you had security because of the walls or the laws, but the walls actually captured you. Yo, this is heavy. This is so heavy, yo. Yo, look, listen. So now the box, all right, the box is first of all, it's in 3D. It's in 3D. So, like I said, you thought the weakest point is to kick down the wall. Bap, I'm gonna kick down the wall. And then no, you can't kick down the law because you go try to kick down the law. It's not going to break the structure. The structure is designed to withstand pressure from you kicking at the wall or kicking at the law. Man, pay attention, revolutionaries. Please pay attention. So you like, man, what am I to do now? What am I to do now? How am I escape? How am I get out of here, Lamel? How am I going to get out of this cell? How am I going to get out of this cube? How am I going to get out of it? Pay attention. Because the way to get out of it is through the vertices or through the angles or the angel. That's the way to get out. Is through the angels or the angle. Now I told you, you only have 8 angles to this. Only 8 angles or 8 vertices to the cube. Now you want to break out of the cube. The cube is the matrix. That's what the matrix is based on that cube. Because when they lock you in a box, only thing you can do is walk in circles or go in circles to try to speed up time or try to define time. So You in the cube, yeah, to define time. Look at your clock in circles. It's like, man, yo, you're just going in a circle, man. Everything is going in a circle. Like, oh my God. Listen, pay attention. So the way to get out is the angle, right? So the angles of the vertices, you only had 8. That 8 was connected to what made you great. And it was in your eye. It was all in your eye. What you declare? I am. The I. I am. I am. The eyes. It's in your eyes. It's the mystery, y'all. It's the codes that are cracked. I want y'all to pay attention. These are the codes, man. So I'm only on slide 4. Man, we go to Revelations. Man, they describe the same structure in the book of Revelations. They said, "And the city lieth foursquare, and the length is as large as the breadth." That's a cube, 4 square. Listen, and he measured the city with a reed with 12 furlongs. Yes, I told y'all, 12 furlongs. The 12 furlongs represented the line. Please pay attention. Please pay attention, yo. Man, these are the lessons right here. Y'all wanted the lessons for so long. Y'all wanted the mysteries to be cracked of this information. It's right here. 21:16, book of Revelation. It's talking about that cube that people are trapped in. All right? That's what landed. In the book of Revelation, when it said it landed on your mind. The mothership didn't land how you thought it landed. Like it's an alien ship about to land. No, man, it's advanced technology. Man, y'all ain't paying attention. Lord knows. We dealing with advanced technology here. The mothership lands on your mind before the structure lands on Earth. It lands on your mind. So in order for you to just know how all of these things work, you need to know how to break yourself out of the cube, man. You need to know how to break yourself out of the cube. This is El Hood, the map translator. That's what I'm coming from. If you want to know, I'm operating from the station from the other side. You ever say, man, he's really going off on a tangent now. I really am, because that's what I'm doing. Yes, to break free from the cube. To break free from the cube. Nobody ever gave you this information no more. From anywhere. This information is flowing through me and through you. All right, because you're here attracting the energy for it to move. All right, so I need you to pay attention, please, because I'm sharing what I can with you at this moment. All right, so that cube is what we're trying to free ourselves from. And like I said, when the mothership landed, it landed on your mind, and you needed to decode these things. And if you didn't have, or can, you didn't have the ability to decode these things. All right, so yes, this talk about this city. Yes, it landed on your mind. It's a cube that you need to break yourself out of. So let's break it down. We saw that. We know about the 6 faces of the cube: top, bottom, left, right, back, all of that. Breadth, width, breadth and all length. That's all. That's they talking about the same thing. Vertices, the corners, where edges meet, points. We learned all of this in this build. All right. But what's important, we're learning how to break free from this prison. This is a prison. Earth is a prison. This is literally like a prison that you are learning how to break out of. This is a prism. A prison. Excuse me, it's not a prism. Because you want to come out of the prism into the rectangular prism. And I'm going to break that down if you stick around for the crown. So, yes, we want to break out of prison, because a prison has 12 bars. That's the 12 zodiac signs that they came out of. Hell in a cell. Because you have to go through hell to get to your heaven. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Y'all going to have to go through a lot of hell to get to your heaven. All right. And you must be willing to go through those fires. Those fires, all right, to get to your little bit of heaven. All right. So let's go deeper, man. Let's go deep on this subject because I'm only on slide 8. So we know carbon, right? 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, right? 666. There goes your 666. But this is the trap. This is the trap. All right. Life forms are built out of carbon chains. Carbon locks us into a biological existence. I need y'all to pay attention. It locks us. This is a 666 right here. This is the 666 that's locking us in. All right. Trust me on that. Now, in Revelation 18, it says this, called the number of the beast, representing the lower state of man. I want to let you know that. It's the lower state of man and woman. You know, people gravitated to this 666. Oh man, yo man, it represents. I mean, it was just such a cliche at one point in time. You would never see me rock a 666 any damn thing. I barely wear a 999 because I don't want it to flip over and y'all get it twisted. Let me keep it real. You'll never see me wearing a 666 talking about, oh, this is righteous. No, it's not. It represents the lower state of man because 666 is carbon. It's us, how we assimilated in this reality as carbon being. All right. That's our lower state that we're coming out of. All right. Trust me on that. So moving forward, just, you know, I want to bring you to this structure because I want to bring you out of the cube. I want to take you out of the prison. I'm going to bring you out of the prison. You hear me? Out of the prison, y'all. So how to break out of the prison is through the Walu. The Walu is divine consciousness. Peace to everybody coming in. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Can I get a share if you care? Can I get a share if you care? Can I get 10 shares if you care? Listen, I don't want y'all to see these structures like this. All right. I don't want y'all to see the structure because y'all see it in 2 dimensions. Y'all say, look at that. It's a dot in the middle. I told y'all again, how many degrees in the circle? Put it in the comment section. Let's do this. Chat awareness. Put it in the comment section. How many degrees are in a circle, y'all? The answer should be 361. And we're doing this for all the newcomers that's coming in. If you don't know how many degrees in the circle, when we talk about it here in the Messiah Code, which is spiritual conscious evolution for future technology, you should know, y'all know it's 361 degrees in this circle. You operating from the dot. Let's measure. Let's start to measure. All right. Let's start to think. I don't want y'all to start seeing these structures like this. You're not a 2D being. All right. You're coming out of that 3-dimensional cube into the prism. When you see this structure, you got to more or less see it kind of like this. This is your pass key in order to tap into the higher dimension. You've been waiting for the information to come to you. Here it is. Here it is. And I'll fundamentally break this down so you will know, and nobody will ever be able to take this from you or me. All right. So don't look at this structure like this. Look at it like that, where the dots, where the points meet up at. You're seeing in higher dimensions now. All right. Because you're no longer seeing that like this. You're seeing it like that. You're seeing it in higher dimensions now. Pay attention, y'all. You're seeing it like that. You begin to see things like that. Because it's 3 times 3 times itself. I told you the potentiality of the number. Look at it. So this right here is your pass key. This is how you break out of the cube, how you break out of the matrix. All right. This is how you break out. And then what you notice about the cube, the cube, All right. The corner of the cube, I told y'all to break out of the cube, you have to go to the angles. The angles, which are the angels, which a lot of the masters explain the angles to be the angels. But I'm gonna tell you this. What are those angles? Those angles are your pass key. That's your angle to break out. The only way you can get out of that box is through the corner, which is the vertice. All right. Your vertical, your height, your vertical, your vertice. All right. But it's the angle, the angels. And this is what creates your pass key. Your pass key. Because your pass key is based on your log date, how you logged into reality, how you logged into this dimension. All right. So, yes, look at it like that. That's the pyramids that we're building. We're not building a pyramid with a square, because that's, again, the box that you was locked in. This is the map translator. Okay. So now your structure has 3 at the bottom, which is person, places, and things, past, present, and future, man, woman, and child, the 3 primary colors, and you can go on and on with this 3. Okay. So yes, you're breaking out of the box. Stop thinking in the box of what you can do and what you cannot do. Please stop it. We're not here for that. Look at all of these structures like that. Every structure here, you need to look at it from a higher dimension. You see it. This is what you knows, how you operate. Look at them from higher dimensions. Okay? Don't just look at them in 2D. You see this? You see the square is tilted. That's the diamond eye. Okay? Now, the diamond eye, when you break down the diamond eye, all right, that represents the pressure that you went through or that you foreseen. The diamond eye, but that unlocks the gateway, the diamond eye, because it's not the square eye. The square eye is you locked in, but you use the diamond eye to open the locks. You open the diamond, you use the diamond eye to open the locks. And then the triangle is red right there, is what you knows. Is what you know. And then you use the other eye, which is the left eye, the circle eye. All right. And this is your operational eye. How you operating with the world, moving with the world. Okay. Now, this is really deep, because I told you, operate from the dot. When you see all structures, when you see all images, when you see all geometrical shapes, always operate from the dot. Always operate from the dot, please. All right. Now, like I said, it's what you knows. Now, these knows, or what you knows, has 3 congruent angles of 120. All right. Now, if you go into Genesis, this is chapter 6 in Genesis. That's when it said man was only given 120 years. That was a riddle. And that was such a riddle I need y'all to pay attention to. The 120 years was the congruent angles of 120. It's like, what? Yeah, it's the 3 congruent angles of 120. Now, you might say, explain this. What do you mean? Man, all of these are codes that are cracked. All of these are riddles that they can't put upon us no more, because they're solved. All these riddles are solved. You're not going to get us no more with the tricks, because those tricks are for kids, and we don't follow the silly rabbit. We follow the turtle. All right. So that 120 represented congruent angles. So these angles have the same sides on each, and they measure the same. Okay. So that 120 represented the 2020 vision, your 2020 vision. We say, because it's 1 times 20. 1 times 20 equals 20, right? So now you got 120. You got 120 on here and 120 on here. And look at this. God put us, or the universe measured us in the same light, because I got 10 fingers and 10 toes, thus I have 120. And then you got 10 fingers and 10 toes, thus you have 120. All right. So together we got 2020 vision if we come together with clarity. All right. That's the point I'm making here. Like, yeah, that 120 or 2020, I'm the one with 20. That's how I solved the riddle. Because when the universe moved through me, it told me to just look at myself to understand what the universe is really speaking of, in order to crack or or to break myself out of the cube. Y'all talk about higher meditation. Y'all talk about people being in higher meditation. Well, this is what you get, and this is how you get out of it. This is how you get out of the cube. All right. In your higher meditation, are you ready? Are y'all ready? For all the people that are on higher thinking, higher learning, yeah, this is going to take you to that level. This build, forevermore, you will rewind back, because you will say, that day he declared us free. He declared us free. And this is what they have all been afraid of. All right. So look, so now you got the 120, right? So that 120 in this triangle, or what you perceive to be a triangle, I told you it's not. It represents the vertice of that cube, that vertice in that cube that had you trapped. All right. So you seeing it from 120, 120, and that's the 12, because the 12, the zodiac, the 12 disciples, or however you want to relate to it. All right. Now, when you move further, what you notice is this. Again, like I said, it's 120, it's your eyesight. Okay. When you look at, now that you got 2020, we just solved that the top portion of that triangle represents, or a tetrahedron, it represents the two congruent angles of eyesight, of vision. 2020. So that's solved. That part of the equation is solved. Now we have to go to the bottom part of the equation. Why is 12 there? Why is 12 there? Because I'm going to break it down mathematically. If you have those congruent angles, all right, and you want to find the height of the object, right? Because that's the height of this object. You want to find the height of this object because it's a 3D, a three-dimensional structure. Person, places, and things, past, present, and future, right? It's a trap. So look, so now you say, okay, I want to find the height of that object. The height of that object was what? You need to know the base, what the base is. So the base is 24. 24, if you divide 24 in half, what do you get? Because you're looking at the triangle right here. In order to find the height of the triangle, you have to go into the middle of it. You have to go into the middle of it. So if the base of it was 24, all right, and then you divide that 24 in half, you get 12. Okay. And that 12 represented the 12 zodiac signs, or those 12 bars that had us locked in the box, that had us locked in the cube. All right. Those 12 zodiac signs. I told you we're out of that. We're into the age of information. We in God's army here. All right. So now look, man, this goes so deep, man. This is all matrix stuff that nobody can tell you. You'll never get this from no other channel, because it's broadcasted here at the Messiah Code. All right. So look, man. So again, it was the 24 hours. It was the clock that they had us in. The 24 hours was the 24 elders, or the L doors, the doorways to L. All right. The doorways to the source. All right. You tapped into all 24 and you split that to 12, and that represents 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of night. So you was able to balance yourself in the middle. Man, pay attention. You was able to balance yourself in the middle. That's where that dot is. So you standing in the middle of that 24 and it was 12. And that 12, man, look at this. That 12, what you do is the 12 times itself. I keep on telling you, keep on multiplying these numbers by their self so you can solve the riddle. It's very easy. So you say 12 times what? That equals 144 locks. Man, it's 144 locks. Yes. It's 144 locks. That's what the 12 was. It was 144 locks that you had to unravel. You had to crack. You had to break all of these 144 locks. And do you know what that is? Man, oh man, it'll bust your brain. You know what the 144 locks are? It's sound, because the sample rate is 1.44 hertz. Go check it out. If you go sample that, and that's the same rate as the birch. When you go tap on the birch wood, which most drums are made of the birch, most instruments like guitars are made of the birch. You didn't know that? I'm telling you right now, because it has resonance, and that same sound resonance with this, it connects up. So it was the frequency and the sounds that you needed to utter as well in order to crack the lock. Man, yo. Please follow me where this journey is going, because where it's going to go is going to go deep. It's going to blow your brain. Look, so you're like, man. So now I told you, you had the two congruent angles of the eyes, which was 2020. So that 2020 was, 20 times 20 equals 400. So 400, if you do the math, because you add the 12, right? Because 12 plus 12, I broke that down with the 12, 24 hours. All right. But what happens is, if you do a subtraction, because we're looking for the height of this object, we want to measure the height of this object. You have to subtract. All right. You have to subtract 144 from 400 in order to get the height of this object. In order to get the height of this object, you're going to have to subtract 144 from 400. And you know what that gives you? I'm going to put it in the comment section so y'all won't be cracking your head real quick. It gives y'all 256. You know what 256 is? 256 is actually, man, it's going to blow your mind. 256 is actually 16 times itself, or 0 through 255. And I need y'all to pay attention. Pay attention. This class is going hard and strong. 256 is actually 16 times 16. You say, man, that adds to 7. Well, pay attention, God. Look at this. That actually equals 0 to 255. I told y'all, operate from the dot. If they gave you 256 possibilities, you need to count 0. You can't count 256. If I say 16 times itself, a lot of y'all looking at, oh man, 16 times itself is 256. That's amount of probabilities. But no, you didn't count the 0, because 0 represents an off switch. It represents the off switch in the equation. All right. So watch this. Watch how it breaks down, because all of this is really binary. It really relates to the way a binary relate. So I told y'all 120, breaking that down. We talking about the height. 400 equals really 4, because 4 was when you got on all fours. That's when you got on all fours, because you was in that box. You was praying to God. You was in that box praying to God. Oh man, you got on all fours. Yeah, trying to tap into north, east, south, and west. All right. But yeah, what's so deep is that, that was your compass. Again, north, east, south, and west. Okay. That 4 led you to the prism. It led you to the prism. It brought you to the prism in order to break free. You see the structure now. Now y'all saw the 6-pointed star. A lot of times y'all saw the 6-pointed star. A lot of our brothers were and sisters were wearing this star. But now I need y'all to look at the 6-pointed star in a whole different light. You're not looking at it the way they gave it to you, two-dimensionally. You're looking at it from a three-dimensional way. Now you see the flower of life coming from the center of it. All of these structures are really in 3D. All right? This is the tree. We come from the family tree. The family tree. 1, 2, 3. Tree. We come from the family tree. Okay? Look at this. All three are one. These merge to become one. These three merge to become one consciousness at the top, at the peak of its reality. That's why I was saying shell, male, cow, and cell. Shell is the observer. Male is the thoughts. Cow is the will. Cell is the recorder. It's the one who records, all right, or who documents, all right? That's different than the observer, because the observer doesn't intervene. The observer just watches. That's all the observer does. It just observes. Now, when something's important, that's when cell comes in and documents it. That's when cell comes in and documents it. All right? And this goes so deep. It goes so deep. So now we breaking it down. How to break out of the simulation. So now I said it. We was in a box. Now that box had 12 lines. Those 12 lines were the 12 zodiac signs. Remember that. The box also had 6 faces. 6 faces. So no matter what Qibla or direction you was at, you was facing the direction of that box that you were trapped in. Why you think the Kaaba in Mecca, man, y'all can go check this out. The Kaaba in Mecca is 13.1 meters, right? Tall. Pay attention. For all my Muslim brothers and sisters, pay attention. Listen. Assalamu alaikum as well. Look at this. And 13.1 meters wide. God is trying to tell you something. Or Allah is trying to tell you something. You say, well, why you say Allah? Allah is not really a name of God. It really is an action. Allah represents a breath. You say it like Allah, but the proper pronunciation of Allah is really hopefully you heard that. That's the proper pronunciation of that's the proper pronunciation of it. Or la that's the real. That's why Allah is not a name of God. It represents the sacred breath. All right, for anybody that knows what's going on. So if you know, at the Kaaba has what? It is only 13.1 meters high. That's 43 feet. And it is 11.3 meters wide and 13.1 meters tall. God is trying to tell you something, or Allah is trying to tell you something. The sacred breath. Peace to all the Messiah Code All-Stars coming in. I love y'all. Thank you for all the support for all the years. Y'all been sticking by me. Real talk. Thank you. Look at this. The box that we want to break out is the hell in the cell. It's the hell that we raging to get out of this cell. All right. Now, again, the 6 faces represented carbon. It also represented carbon because carbon is the lower state of man. It is the corporal body. It is the corporal body that we that we asphyxiate and dress up and act like that this is who we are, and it is not. It is only a stage of who we are. It is a cocoon. This is literally, if anything, I can explain it. If you want me to know what the elders wanted to tell you, this body is a cocoon. This body that we living in is a cocoon. If anything that you need to know, you are literally in a form of a cocoon, but they have placed you in a box. All right. And that prison of your mind, we're going to free. If you stick around, we're going to free you from that prison that they have did their best to trap you with. All right. So yes, the 12 zodiac signs were the 12 lines in this box. The 6 faces were the what's the name? Were the faces of the walls. Remember, I said the walls were the laws. Remember that. The walls were the laws. Pay attention to that. And you try to kick down the walls, you couldn't break down the walls, which were the laws. You couldn't break the wall, or you couldn't break the law. You couldn't break the wall. Pay attention. These are all riddles. It's all a riddle. It's all a riddle. If anything, I can tell you, it's just all a riddle. Man, I said again, the only way to get out of this box is that you have to go to the weakest point of the structure, or what they thought was the strongest point of the structure, which is the corners. The corner of it, or what you call the angles, are the angels. All right. These angles or angels is what the message is coming through. Because the light, you said, man, hold up, I see light coming through the crack. You say, for real? Yeah, light coming through the crack. Sort of like when you see a plant coming out of the crack of the hood, you be like, yo, man, look at that plant. It's just growing out of the crack of the cement. We are those same plants that grew out of the crack of the concrete jungle. All right? We came out of those same crack. We came out of the crack era. Pay attention. We came out of that same crack. All right? So, look. So you said, man, hold up. I see light coming through the box. I'm in this box, but I see light coming through the box. And then remember, it was the corner of the structure. It was the corner of the box, because this is from a box. This is the corner of a box. It's a tetrahedron. Man, look. So that light was information. It was the knowledge that they was giving you. It was the knowledge. Man, I broke that down. Listen, man, this is the hardest build ever. Look, so now you step out of the box. What do you go into? Again, the box was the matrix. You was going in circles in that box. You was going so many circles. But that box is that matrix. Now you go into the book, or what we call the rectangular prism. Not a prison. You go into the prism, because the prism is in quarantine, whether you know it or not. You say, for real? It's in quarantine? Yeah, it's in real quarantine, because not everything can get out and not everything can get in. That's why it's a quarantine. Like, it's a prism. It's a prism. The structure is a prism. So when you step out of that cube, you go into the book. Man, this is deep. You go into the book. And the book, man, what if I tell you this? Like, excuse me. They looking for ways to travel the universe, but you can travel the universe through the quadrant. And you say, explain this. Listen, you can go anywhere in the universe. The universe is measurable Once you step out of that cube, you go into the prism. The prism allows you to travel anywhere in the universe because the universe is measurable through the rectangular prism. It's literally a rectangular prism. How should I call it? Now remember, when you was moving to and fro in the earth, that was your area. Okay? When you went to the height of your reality of what you can endure, and then you multiply that, it became the volume of your book that you're writing, which is the rectangular prism. Okay? 1113 Coombe on the East Coast. Any questions? Are there any questions? Because I know this has been heavy. Any questions? I'm gonna stop the chat right now. I want to take questions. Anybody have any questions? Peace to my brother Dunn. Peace to my brother Dunn in the building. Any questions? Any questions from the family? Now, I utilize mathematics to explain a lot of my points here. All right. And a lot of these concepts, I wanted you, to more or less, I wanted to be clear with the people what we were talking about here. Now, again, when we going back to this, to the cube, I want to take y'all back to the cube real quick, right? And I was telling y'all the way to break out of the cube, you have to go to the angle which is the angels, which will cast the light to your mind. All right, it will cast the light to your mind. This is a prism right here. The same thing. I told you, a rectangular prism, but this is a prism, and this is the light going through. And when the light goes through, it comes through as information. Okay, now you might say, you still didn't tell me where the corner of the cube is. I know you pulled this out and it looks fancy. You said, man, I know this is nice, and it represents the pass keys and everything. Okay, but tell me, where is the vertice, or where is that niche in the cube structure, so I can break out? I want to break out of the simulation. Man, yeah. I got you. You want to know where it is? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you where it's at. You said, man, that look like we on camera. Yeah, you on camera. But this is a mirror. This is a reflection. This is a reflection right here. You think it's a reflection? This is not a reflection. Your reflection is what you do here on this earth. That's your reflection. This is something else right here. You know what I'm saying? This right here is your way out. You remember in the new Matrix movie when they was first breaking Neo out, right? When they was breaking Neo out, he said they gave him a mirror this big. He said, man, how I'm gonna fit my body through that? How I'm gonna fit my whole body through this mirror? He said, you can do it. Just think. Just think. He said, just think, man. You can do it. Just think. Did y'all saw the new Matrix 4? Yeah. It's the covalent bond between atoms. All right. And how to break out of it and go through the doorway. All right. But this, here it is, to come into the rectangular prism. You say, man, okay, this is where the angels are going to speak to you. The angels are going to speak to you through this mirror. Yeah, this mirror is like a matrix mirror, ain't it? Yeah, it's like almost like that. You touch it and it just turns to liquid. Yes, it's really like that. It's really like that. All right? You touch it and you walk through it. You almost touch it and walk through it. You said, man, you getting real heavy, Lamel. I'm getting so scared. Why are you scared to go to the mirror? Why are you scared to look at yourself? Why are you scared of this? Why? Why? What is it? Why are you so afraid of this? In order to get out, you have to go through this. That's how to go out of the cube. That's how to get out of the cube. Now, you can come back. What if I tell you now that you know the entrance, you can come back and forth how you want. You can come back and forth. Yo, man. Oh, man. Yo. This is special. I need y'all to pay attention to this. This is the best ever. Because, remember the gospel was always good news. I came here to bear good news to you that the mothership has landed. If you look at the mothership, this is an example what the mothership represents. It's just a ball full of mirrors. Oh my goodness. Look at this. And then I took y'all to some stuff, man. Man, oh man, I let y'all see some stuff in this discussion. This was a very good discussion. Yeah. Look, you going back to the codex. Codex is the roots. That's the root of the tree. But it's the trunk of the tree when it has been torn down. All right, the trunk still remains, and so do the roots. All right. This was so informational. So informational. This is the most powerful tool that you got before you. Remember when the Messiah said, man, he said, go to the closet and pray. People said, man, what the hell was he talking about? I'm going to go in my closet and go pray right now. He wasn't talking about the closet like that. When you go to the closet, what are you doing? You dressing up yourself, right? So when you go dress yourself up, what do? You go before a mirror. How else you going to look at yourself if you're going to go to the closet and pray? You need to be able to look at yourself. Man, all of these are riddles. These are all riddles. All riddles of higher consciousness. They're all riddles. This is the escape. But this is the way back too. You can come back and forth through this. You can transcend and ascend through this. Your former self, your now self, your future self. Isn't that deep? You have always been able to connect through this. And forevermore. You're really watching yourself from the other side. And you can tap into yourself from the higher side. I'm so serious. This is the only tool that you need. This is important. All right. So I'm gonna leave it at that. It's 11:22. Yo, thank you for everybody that joined the discussion. I hope you learned a lot. I really hope you learned a lot. All right. I am Solar Prime Supreme 131 Lazarus Lamel of the Messiah Code Movement, also known as Messiah Code Technologies. All right. And I want you to know today you can free yourself from the simulation. All right. You can free yourself from the cube. You can free yourself from that cell that you trapped in. You can free yourself from it. You have to be willing. But you have to go to the mirror in order to free yourself. You have to be willing to step to this mirror and not be afraid of who you are and what you are. You must be willing to step to that mirror. That's acceptance. That's acceptance. Yeah, that's acceptance. You know, that's acceptance. But it'll bend, it'll twist, and you wouldn't even know what you look like. All right, so serious. Just like in the same thing. That movie was a concept built off of something that I need y'all to pay attention to. All right. So yeah, the way to get through this, the way to get through or get out is the mirror. That's the way to get out of here is through the mirror. All right? For everybody. So I want to say I love y'all. 747 24/7 361 degrees. This was a great build. Operating from the omniverse, the multiverse, and all areas in between. Revelations 21:16. There you go. You got the answer. Riddle solved. All right. And thus we got many other things that give us great hope, like the Oracle, and many other people that represent the Messiah Code movement. Shout out to Sister Bren. Thank you. Shout out to Sister Kimberly. Peace to Akshita Vita, the General. All right. Brother Jesus. Shout out to Chosen Prince. I hope you get some books of the Messiah Code pretty soon. Peace to Sister Jamila. Brother Anku, where are you? Shout out to everybody that supports the movement. And I want to give a special shout out to my wife and Queen Thea Lamel for holding down, holding me down when things is crazy. I want to say shout out to Sister Bren. Thank you for being here for years. Thank you for standing by me for years, watching my growth, watching the movement grow. Thank you for Oracle, praying for people. Waking up doing a consistent podcast every day from Monday through Friday, spreading the message. She's really like a beacon of hope. I just want y'all to know that. We got some good people with our movement. Don't worry about nothing. Just know that you all right. You're blessed. You're great. You're great. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna say thank you. I'm gonna put on the theme song. I gotta put on the outro song. Here we go. Peace to everybody. Thank you for attending the broadcast. Let me play this. Let's get it. Sing along with the music. You know what it is. Peace to the Messiahs. Thank you. Thank you for your attendance. If you don't know the song, here we go. Sing along. Save the world. Come on.
Go out. Save the world. Save the world. Save the world. Go out. Save the world. Save the world. Save the world. Go out. I feel like that I can save the world. Go out. I feel like that I can save the world. Go out. Save the world. Save the world. Save the world. Go out. Save the world. Save the world. Save the world. Go out. I feel like that I can save the world. Go out. I feel like that I can save the world. Go out.
Thank you for your time. This was very beautiful. Very informative discussion. Now you know what all these symbols mean. What I was talking about.
Go out.
Oh.
Save the world, save the world, save the world. Go out. Save the world, save the world, save the world. Go out. I feel like that I can save the world. Go out. I feel like that I can save the world. Go out. Save the world, save the world, save the world. Go out. Save the world, save the world, save the world. Go out. I feel like that I can save the world. Go out. I feel like that I can save the world. Go out.
Like then I can say the world. I feel like well,
Go out. Save the world, save the world, save the world. Go out. Save the world, save the world, save the world. Go out. I feel like that I can save the world. Go out. I feel
what?
that I can save the world. Go out. Save the world, save the world, save the world. Go out. Save the world, save the world, save the world. Go out. I feel like that I can save the world. Go out. I feel like that I can save the world. Go out.
Peace to the Messiahs. Peace to the Messiahs. This is very beautiful. Thank you for your time once again. Go save the world. Go save the world, y'all. Don't worry about the planet. The planet's going to be what it's going to be, but just save the world. All right? Comb, 747, 24/7, 361 degrees. This has been a joyous